Hey, it's Thursday night, 20 minutes to 9, and Brian was off today, but so was Spencer. He is off until Tuesday with teacher parent and teacher in service days and all that kind of stuff. So he was home. Ash went to work. They had a phone conference call with the teacher and both parents, and so any child or whatever had to be out of the room or kept busy or something. Brian had the baby. He was supposed to have taken a nap, but he didn't. Brian left him in his crib, and he was screaming bloody murder, screaming and screaming and screaming while Brian was trying to do this phone call with Ashley and the teacher. I was downstairs reading to Spencer. There's a Fox in Socks. It's a Dr. Seuss book. It has so many tongue twisters in there. It's amazing. I read it fairly slowly. It says to start off slow, and then if you learn it, you can try to go faster. No. Even Brian tried reading it. He went slowly as well. He tried going faster, but he just couldn't. Now, there's some of the different tongue twisters, depending on the letters, the sounds, the words. Some you can do better than others. Others, it's like, forget it. But it was fun. And then we played outside for a little while. It got chilly. And we went inside, and they were about ready to have lunch. The baby still had not had a nap yet. I think Brian was going to feed him and then try to get the baby to take a nap. And Spencer, I don't know if he was gearing himself up or down, I don't know, and I just snuck back over here. I think I might have watched one video vlog, and then I had to get some more cat food, tins of cat food, because he eats like a pig too. So I went into Redlands because I want to see this concert that's coming up May 10th. Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Sorry about that, cat. It is cinematic movie music. John Williams, and then music from the Alfred Hitchcock movies, music from Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, big swishy music. The cheapest seats were up in the balcony, $20. And then it was like $70 or $80 down on the lower level, closer to stage. But this is not a play where you have to watch the people or hear what they say. This is music. Music in this great big place. It's a place where Spencer's school had their little music program. And the sound carries very well. If you're up in that balcony, it's fine. So I bought a $20 balcony ticket. And it's like right in the middle of the balcony. So she said it's a pretty good seat because the sound comes from around. So I'm glad about that. I mean, I might meet somebody, who knows. If not, then they'll just be a bunch of sticky wigs. Stuck up sticky wigs sitting around me, but I don't care. It'll be a nice treat hearing that music. I still haven't contacted my friend in Germany to ask him questions about Berlin or any other city that Max Arabe is performing in to see what he thinks, what city is safe, and if he knows anything. I don't know. It seems like anything I plan just falls apart, disintegrates in front of me. Let's see. So I'll be helping Ash tomorrow and Saturday. Sunday Brian's off, but we have to dismantle the wooden swing set that they have because next Wednesday a brand new swing set's going to be delivered and a man's going to put it together. And he says something about it must be level ground. And Brian says, well, I want it really perfectly level, but that'll cost me a whole lot of money, so I think it's level enough, don't you? And I said, yeah, it's level enough. Instead of, let's see, how can I, where's the ruler? Instead of being like this, it's like this. Level? Not level. I think what they're concerned about is if it's like this. It should be fine. It'll be interesting. I'm trying to fix places along the fence where the dogs are trying to dig holes under to either get to the neighbor doggies or to get to gophers or whatever. I have some plans with some of that wood that we'll be dismantling instead of throwing it away. There's probably maybe a half dozen or maybe 4 good timbers that can be saved and used in one way, shape, or another. Frankenstein it into something useful. And then it's supposed to warm up just a little bit. So I am going to plant my plants. Did you hear that, plants? They're on the windowsill. They're doing okay, but I think they're becoming discouraged because when are we going to get out there? Next week. And I can work on the gnomes if I don't have Spencer hanging on me or lifting things up and tossing them around and playing with them and all that. It's hard to tell a kid that kind of stuff is for looks only and not to play with. I could never understand that when I was a kid. It's like, huh? Why do you have it if you can't play with it? Yeah. I'll be working on that. I have a sink full of dishes. I don't feel like doing them, so I probably won't. And since Ash will be off tomorrow, is she off tomorrow? Yeah, because Spencer's home. And both those kids would be a little too much for me. Spencer really knows how to push my buttons and how to work it. Yeah. Oh, I was going to tell you something that the little one did, but it's not very... You can't say that kind of stuff in public, but I won't tell you. It's like, oh! Yeah, that's the difference between Grandma and Daddy. Oh, dear. Well, anyway. Kitty Cat's got his nighttime position till I get up and go to bed. Which, I don't know. I always say, I'll do it by 9:30. And usually it's like 1 o'clock. Or I fall asleep. Last night I put a comedy program or something on the computer next to the bed. And next thing I know, it was 1 in the morning and there was trance music playing. I'm just like falling apart. I think, how did I do it with Brian and Scott when they were little? And I was like, I pretty much did everything. I was kind of like a single parent, even though the other one was there, not working, sitting in a chair watching something all day long. It just, he might have had some interest in the kids, but if the kids had dirty diapers, or if they spit up, or if they argued, or anything, like back when we got married, there's so many red flags. The wedding vows, he wanted to cut out half of the wedding vows, like for richer, for poorer. He wanted to cut out the for poorer. And sickness and health, he wanted to cut out the sickness. For richer and healthier. He wanted to do everything. He wanted control over everything. So, I know. I really knew how to pick them, didn't I? Well, it's all you know. If you're brought up by a narcissist under a very tight thumb, that's all you know. Unless you have friends or relatives that didn't have a fucked up life, how are you going to know? Anyway, I always seem to talk about the same crap and fall onto it. Yeah, maybe this is like some kind of a therapy. Anyway, we went to Red Robin, which is a restaurant that has mostly hamburgers and chicken or hamburgers, maybe a couple things of fish, French fries, that kind of stuff. Spencer got a little kid plate. It was a cheeseburger with a side of broccoli. It was beautiful. The broccoli was gorgeous. He was goofing around. He took one bite of the hamburger and he was going to put it down on the table. And the plate was too close to the edge and the whole thing went over. Cheeseburger, the broccoli was everywhere. And he started screaming and crying because Daddy said you can't eat that after it's been on the floor. He was screaming and crying and stomping and carrying on. It wasn't really full of people at that particular time. It started filling up with people. But the lady was real nice about it, the waitress lady, and she went and got him a whole nother plate. And they have endless sides, like French fries. So I got extra French fries and was feeding him some of those while he was waiting, because waiting's hard for a kid. 5 minutes seems like 10 years, So, and then they have balloons for kids, free balloon per kid. And I was going to tell Brian, let's get it on the way out. Brian wasn't thinking. He was thinking about other things, and Spencer went up and picked up a balloon, and he picked up another one for his brother. So they were being waved around, and they had like a menu stand, and we put it in the menu stand. So let's just put it there, we can look at them. But we're not going to wave them around or anything. We're going to eat. Oh, they got taken out and waved around a lot, and I ended up taking them away from him and putting them behind me, next to me. Oh, my God. How did I do it? How did I do it when Brian and Scott were little? I feel bad for Brian and Ashley. I mean, those kids. I know Brian had a lot of energy. I don't remember if Scott did. I think they did, and they fought a lot. But Spencer is just like dynamite. He's like a fizzling fire, fizzling, like the fuse is lit and it's all over the place. He's just wired. Now, I know ADHD and autism and all those various neurological disorders can run in the family. He has ADHD bad. Brian had it a little bit, and he had medicine. I had it. I still do. I had medicine at one time. I've got a box of paperwork over there on the chair, and it talks about some healthcare thing I signed up for, I think. And I don't like all those papers and copies and small print, and I hate all that stuff. It's like I need a good friend that likes that kind of stuff so they can come over and I can make them a meal and they can help me understand this shit. Because I sure as hell don't understand it. But I was really pissed. That ear medicine I got $78.26 for a week's supply of eardrops. And that's the generic. And with good RX. Otherwise, it would have been like $150. That's insane. And the pharmacist said, do you have any other questions? And I said, yeah. Who do I write to about the outrageous cost of this medicine? My congressman? Maybe if I were a dual citizen of a country that has health care, could do all my yearly checkups and get medicine from that country. Like I'm supposed to take high blood pressure medicine and medicine for my depression and medicine for OCD, and I don't. I can't afford it. I haven't had it since December. Lately I've been having twinges, like tightening in my chest. And that's kind of why I wanted to get my ducks in a row. I just don't feel like I've got too much time left. I don't know. I get depressed if I think about it. finally in my life, when I've got something to be happy about, life decides to smack me in the head. I don't know. I hope all this governmental BS will crash into itself so that we're back to some kind of normalcy. When the person in charge supposedly changes their mind day to day, and sometimes many times during one day, you can't deal with that. There are people having to deal with that in various offices of the government that are trying to catch up from last Monday. It's lunacy. What will I do tomorrow? Well, I don't think I'll have time to work on the gnome village, but I've been using my fingernail polish colors and painting those things so that they've faded in the sun. So that, and Spencer started playing with the little cardboard house that I covered with kind of like a cement slurry so that the weather wouldn't erode the cardboard. Well, Spencer was playing with it and cracked it, and I have to come up with some new housing thing for the rest of the gnomes and fix the ones that are broken. And it usually takes me 10 times longer than a normal human being to get anything done, but with all this stuff happening and school being canceled or being in service and conference days, and they're off school 5 days in a row, and I don't get anything done. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know any less. Upward and onward.